A very good evening friends. I welcome you all to the daily newspaper analysis brought to you by the Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 8th May 2024. Here are the list of articles which we are going to discuss today. So let's get started. In this section, we are going to solve two previous year questions which appeared in our prelims examination. Let us start answering. Here, three statements are given and we are going to see whether they are correct. See, questions regarding any animals or birds or any other species are very important for our exam perspective because various species are often gets repeated in our exams. So it's in our best interest to study all the three options. See the first statement, Asiatic lion is naturally found in India only. Second one, double-humped camel is naturally found in India only. And third one is one-horned rhinoceros is naturally found in India only. Okay, let's start answering. See, Asiatic lion once walked from Middle East to India. Now sadly, only a fraction of this magnificent animal survive in the wild. There are only 700 Asiatic animals in the wild and they only live in the Gir forest in India. To understand it better, see, it's an area that is smaller than the Greater London. They occupy remnant forest habitats in the two hill systems of Gir and Girnar that comprise Gujarat's largest tract of dry deciduous forest, thorny forest and savanna. See, Worldwide Fund for Nature estimates its population at 523 in 2015. In the recent census of 2020, their number increased to 674. Owing to the threat and decline in population, we have listed Asiatic lion in Shell 1 of the WPA. IUCN marks it as endangered while the site has kept it Appendix 1. A single population of less than 50 lions persisted in the Gir forest of Gujarat by the late 1890s. With timely and stringent protection offered by the state government and the central government, Asiatic lion have increased to current population of over 500 numbers. So, the statement 1 is correct. See the second statement. The double-humped camel is a native of Gobi Desert and is found on vast expanse of the cold desert areas across Mongolia, China, Kazakhstan, etc. So statement 2 is incorrect. See the third one. The greater one-horned rhino is one among the 5 different species of rhino. The other 4 are Sumatran rhino, Javan rhino, black rhino and white rhino. Among these species, only 3 types of rhinos are found in Asia, which are greater one-horned rhino, Java and Sumatra. Among them, only the great one-horned rhino is found in India. It's also known as Indian rhino and it's the largest of the rhino species. See, the greater one-horned rhino lives in northern India, southern Nepal, in riverine grasslands and adjacent woodlands. See, in India, they are mainly found in Assam, West Bengal and UP. The population of the one-horned rhino have increased to around 3,500 rhinos in the northeast India and Terai grasslands of Nepal. So, statement 3 is also incorrect. So, the correct option is option A. Now, let us see the second question of the day. See, it is also related to environment. Which of the following are in the Agasthiyamala Biosphere Reserves? So, before solving, let us see facts about Agasthiyamala Biosphere Reserve. Know that the reserve is located in the southernmost end of the Western Ghats and it incorporates the peaks towering 1868 meter above the mean sea level. Know that it covers 3,500 square kilometers and encompasses tropical forest ecosystem that fall within the Tirunelveli and Kanyakumari districts of Tamil Nadu and Trivandrum and Kollam districts of Kerala. See, it hosts one of the most diverse ecosystem in peninsular India and constitutes the important biogeographical hotspots within the Western Ghats. See, the reserve hosts 2,200 species of higher plants including 405 endemic plants. It includes unique genetic reservoir of cultivated plants, in particular cardamom, jamun, nutmeg, pepper, plantain and so on. They also has 3 wildlife sanctuaries, Peppara, Nayar and Chendurni and Kalakadu Mundandurai Tiger Reserve. See, you can see their extension in the map which is given here. On continuing our discussion, know that the reserve is home to Kani tribes from both Tamil Nadu and Kerala who constitutes approximately 30,000 in number. This community uses a wide variety of biological resources for sustenance but is rarely involved in their commercialization. In addition, about 700 non-tribal inhabitants live on the tea estates located in the core area. See, Agasthiyamala Biosphere Reserve occupies a prominent place in the epic Ramayana. To be precise, sage Agastya, who offered spiritual guidance to Lord Rama and aided him in his quest to defeat King Ravan, was present in Agasthiyamala Biosphere Reserve. This symbolizes the sanctity and spiritual significance of the area, making it a revered destination for the Hindu pilgrims and spiritual seekers. Okay, broad basics. Now let us move on to the options. See, here the correct option which matches our description is option A. With this basics, now let us move on to the news article discussion of the day. Look at this news article. Election Commission of India has responded to the use of deep fakes in the current election. They have instructed the political parties not to share such content on the social media. If parties discover that such content is being posted, they must remove it within 3 hours and caution the person who have shared it. Moreover, the ECI is also concerned about the rapid spread of misinformation through the sharing options available on the social media. See, major parties like BJP, Congress, DMK, AIADMK and their affiliated accounts have been found sharing deep fakes during these elections. See, this is the crux of the article which is given here. In our discussion, let us understand about deep fakes and then we shall also discuss about the challenges which are associated with the deep fakes. Let us start with deep fakes. See, deep fakes refers to the fake contents which are often in the form of image, audio or video. See, they are generated using special kind of technology called deep learning. See, this is why they got the name deep fake. Now, let us see what is deep learning. See, deep learning is one of the methods in artificial intelligence. It teaches the computers to process the data in a way like human brain actually does. Okay. With the help of deep learning, the computers can learn and recognize the voice or the pictures of the targeted person. After that, it will replace one person with another person in video or audio. This replaced version is what we called deep fakes. See, deep fakes can be able to perform face swap, voice swap or content swap while speaking. So to put simply, deep fake is a type of technology that is employed to produce fake content which pretty much looks like real content. So with this basic, let us understand about the challenges which are associated with the deep fakes. Firstly, deep fake videos can be used to spread misinformation or fake news. As I said earlier, it's very difficult to distinguish between deep fakes and real content. So with the help of AI, a person can create deepfake videos with fake or hatred messages. See, this may result in the spread of misinformation which can disrupt the social harmony. Secondly, it can be used to defame an individual by depicting them in an embarrassing situation. The report says that nearly 90% of the deepfakes are targeted against the women. Deepfake induced pornography is one such example. Thirdly, it can be used by the non-state actors like terrorists or insurgents to propagate their radical ideology. This can cause anti-national sentiment amongst the people. Sometimes it can lead to security threats. Fourthly, it can be used as a weapon to influence the voter, as we have seen in the news today. During the election time, deepfake videos or audios can be used to create misconception against a particular political party. This can influence the voter during the elections. That's why the Election Commission is taking steps to curb the spread of deepfakes. And finally, it can be used as a blackmailing tool. See, by targeting the reputed family with the help of deepfakes, the antisocial elements can blackmail them to do monetary favors. These are all the challenges associated with deepfakes. In our discussion today, firstly, we saw about the concept of deepfake, and secondly, we saw about the challenges associated with the deepfakes. With this broad basics, let us move on to the next news article of the day. Look at this news article. This news article talks about swing states in the light of upcoming parliamentary elections. For those who don't know what is the term swing states, see, it refers to the regions where the outcome of individual constituency is unpredictable and can be influenced by the factors like number of candidates, local dynamics, and voter preferences. These states are characterized by closely contested constituencies where the margin of victory is often small and they hold a significant sway over the final composition of Lok Sabha. See, this is the reason why they are called swing states. With this brief understanding, let us learn a few facts from the article using our mains answer writing discussion approach. This topic can be asked as a question in GS paper 2 under the syllabus which is mentioned here. Okay, now with the syllabus having seen, let me read out the question for you. Discuss the merits and demerits of the first past the post system and suggest measures to reform it. Since the keyword in the question is discuss, you are expected to give various perspectives of the subjects with the supporting data. So, in the main body, you can write about the merits and demerits of the FPTP system. And then in the conclusion part, you can suggest some of the measures to reform the existing system. See, this is the schema how we are going to approach the question. Okay, moving on to the introduction part, here you can write like this. The first past the post system or FPTP system is also known as the simple majority system. In this voting methodology, the candidates who have secured the highest number of votes in a constituency is declared as winners. It is followed in numerous countries like UK, Canada, India, New Zealand and USA. In India, it is used only in direct elections to the Lok Sabha, state legislative assemblies and Panchayat. See, despite its simplicity, it has its own merits and demerits which are as follows. See, you can write this point in the introduction part and move on to the main body of the answer. Firstly, we shall see the merits of the system. See, FPTP is easy to understand by common voters who may not possess specialized knowledge about politics and election. As you know that every citizen who is at above the age of 18 has the right to vote, and as per 2011 census, India still have nearly 30% of illiteracy rate. Since democracy is a government in which everybody has a share, so to ensure everyone's participation, FPTP is adopted rather than the many complex systems like proportional representation method, which is followed in countries like Israel, Netherlands, etc. See, India follows proportional representation system to indirectly elect the various important posts like president, vice president, etc. Secondly, India is the 7th largest country in the world by land area, and it has highly diverse population with numerous languages, culture, tradition, etc. So, conducting elections across such vast and diverse landscape requires extensive logistical planning and resources. In this context, FPTP is easier to conduct and quicker to administer rather than other method of conducting elections. Thirdly, it offers the voter a choice to not only select between the parties but also specific candidates. Whereas in a PR system, voters are often asked to choose a party and their representatives are elected on the basis of party list. So in a large diverse country like India, a PR system would encourage each community to form its own national-wide party. Also, it encourages the voters from different social groups to come together to win an election in a locality. See, in a large and diverse country like India, a PR system may not be suitable because of these reasons. Fourthly, FPTP ensures that each constituency is represented by a single member of parliament who is elected to represent the interest of those specific area. See, the system provides direct accountability to the constituents and promote local representation in the national legislature. Finally, the parliamentary system requires that the executive has a majority in the legislatures. The makers of the constitution felt that a PR system may not be appropriate for giving a stable government in a parliamentary system like India. Therefore, FPTP system helps the parliamentary government to function smoothly by facilitating the formation of stable government. So you can write all these points in the merit part of your body. Moving on to the demerit part, while FPTP is relatively simple, it does not always allow for a truly representative mandate, as the candidates could win despite securing less than half the votes in a contest. For example, in 2014, the National Democratic Alliance won 336 seats with only 38.5% of the popular vote. Secondly, inadvertently excludes the small parties from a fair representation. Here, the word fair means a party which wins approximately 10% of the vote should win approximately 10% of the parliamentary seat. But this does not happen in the case of FPTP. And since the winning chances for the small parties is lower, they are sometimes forced to align with the interest of national parties, which beats the purpose of local self-government and federalism. Thirdly, the most broadly accepted candidate syndrome affects the ability of women to be elected to the parliamentary office because they are often less likely to be selected as candidates by a male-dominated party structure. For example, the Inter-Parliamentary Union's annual study of women in the parliament in 1995 found that an average woman made up 11% of the parliamentarians in established democracies which are using FPTP, but the figures almost double to 20% in those countries which are following PR system. Apart from this, FPTP can incentivize the parties to base the campaigns on ethnic, racial, religious lines, potentially exacerbating the divisions. Finally, it allows a party to maintain dominance even with a significant drop in the overall support due to geographically concentrated electoral support. This is what today's news article is talking about. Swing states can swing the overall election results in favor of one party or another. See, you can write all these points in the demerit sections. Finally, in the conclusion part, you can give some of the measures to reform the system. Firstly, investing in voter education programs to increase the awareness of the electoral processes and voter rights. See, this could deter the voting tendency towards only the majority parties. Secondly, strengthening the role of Election Commission of India in ensuring free, fair, transparent election could help safeguard the integrity of the electoral process. This could involve measures to enhance the oversight of the campaign activities, prevent electoral fraud, legal enforcement of the MCC, etc. Thirdly, constituency boundaries can be redrawn to create more competitive electoral districts. This could help mitigate the problem of safe seats and reduce the prevalence of landslide victories. Fourthly, quotas or reserved seats for certain groups like minority, women can be brought in to encourage the greater diversity within the political parties. Finally, enacting measures to regulate the finance of campaign and reduce the influence of money in politics could help in creating the level playing field for the candidates. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In our discussion, we saw elaborately about the merits, demerits and way forward regarding the first past the post system. With this basics, let us move on to the next news article of the day. Look at this text and context page article. This article discusses how climate change impacts the mental health with a specific focus on the individuals with schizophrenia during the heat waves. So, let's break down this article and understand things from the exam perspective. We know that climate change is causing more frequent and intense heat waves. While the impact on the physical health and environment is well documented, today our focus will be on the impact of heat waves on the mental health. Here, the research highlights that climate change disproportionately affects the vulnerable groups, including those with mental health conditions like schizophrenia, etc. The study found that individuals with schizophrenia were more affected by the extreme heat event in British Columbia than those with other serious conditions like heart or kidney diseases. See, it compared the mortality data from the normal summer to the 2021 heat waves, revealing that people with schizophrenia represented a significantly larger proportion of death during the heat waves compared to the previous years. Now, let us see why. The reasons are hypothalamus dysfunction. See, one reason why individuals with schizophrenia are particularly vulnerable to the heat is due to the role of hypothalamus in regulating the body temperature. See, schizophrenia and the medications which are used to treat this issue can disrupt the functioning of the hypothalamus. Secondly, antipsychotic medications. See, these medications can exacerbate the heat sensitivity by affecting the hypothalamus ability to regulate the body temperature. Thirdly, anosognosia. See, many with schizophrenia suffer from this condition where they don't recognize their own illness, which can prevent them from seeking the help during the heat waves. And finally, marginalization and isolation. See, these factors increases the risk for the heat-related problem among the people with schizophrenia, as demonstrated in the historical events like 1995 Chicago heat wave. Okay, having understood this, the study also suggests some recommendations. See, despite the risk, it is crucial to continue the antipsychotic medications as they are life-saving. Instead, interventions should focus on managing the risk factors. Secondly, we need to focus on educating the caregivers and families about recognizing and responding to the heat-related illnesses that can save lives. See, this is the first part of our discussion. With this, let us move on to the second part of analysis, that is to discuss the impact of climate change on the laborers. See, even though both these parts are mutually different, you can note the points and use it in your answer when respective questions are asked. That is, if question is about the impact of climate change on mental healthness, you can use the points in the first part of our discussion. And if the question is about impact of climate change on laborers, you can use the points which we are going to discuss now. Okay, now let us start our discussion. See, we are going to see about the impact of climate change on the laborers. Know that climate change has profound impact on the labor, particularly for the workers in countries like India, where a significant proportion of the economy and people depends on climate sensitive sectors like agriculture, construction and informal markets. Now let us see the impacts. See, climate change leads to unpredictable weather events, including irregular monsoon and extreme temperatures, which adversely affect the crop yield. With reduced yield, farmers' income will be decreasing, leading to seek alternative employment, often in low-paying and unskilled job. See, this migration increases the labor supply in urban area, thus depressing the wages and leading to job insecurity. Secondly, prolonged exposure to the heat can lead to issues like heat exhaustion, heat stroke and dehydration. See, laborers in construction, agriculture and street vendors who often work outdoors are particularly vulnerable to the respective phenomenon. For example, during the 2015 heat waves in India, hundreds of people died, many of whom were outdoor workers. Thirdly, outdoor laborers in the construction, road maintenance and other infrastructure projects facing the direct exposure of sun. As temperature rise, these conditions become not only unbearable but also dangerous. Fourthly, studies including the one from International Labour Organization estimate that India could lose the equivalent of 34 million full-time jobs by 2030 due to heat stress. The construction sector, heavily reliant on the manual labor, is expected to be one of the hardest hit sectors due to climate change. And finally, over 80% of the Indian workers is employed in the informal sector, according to the data from National Sample Survey Organization. these jobs are often precarious with no social security or labor protection. So workers in this informal sector have limited means to adapt to the climate change impacts. For example, street vendors and rickshaw pullers cannot afford to stop working during extreme weather because of their poverty and poor family conditions. See, these are all some of the impacts of climate change. With this understanding, let us move on to the next article. Look at this news article. The centre has stated in the Supreme Court that Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, does not have a specific portfolio. They argued that even if he is granted interim bail for the Lok Sabha poll campaign, he should not take on official duties. Despite this, the role of Chief Minister in Delhi is crucial within the administrative framework of the city. Okay, this article explores the importance and relevance of the post of Chief Minister in Delhi. Let me explain this article in a simple manner with the background of the issue. See, Arvind Kejriwal was arrested on March 21st by the Enforcement Directorate in a case related to excise policy. Now, we shall see what is the importance of CM post in Delhi. See, according to the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Act 2023, certain important matters must be submitted to the Lieutenant Governor through the Chief Minister and Chief Secretary. These matters include issues affecting the peace and tranquility of Delhi, its relations with other governments, mercy petitions, summoning and dissolving the assembly, and other significant administrative matters as deemed necessary by the Chief Minister. So, there are such important matters that involves the duties of the Chief Minister in Delhi. Now, let us see what is the argument of central government in Supreme Court. See, the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, representing the ED, opposed granting bail but suggested that if granted, Kejriwal could be limited to the campaigning of Lok Sabha elections and not perform his duties as CM. Mehta noted that since Kejriwal is considered as a Chief Minister without portfolio, he might not have official responsibilities until the elections are over. Whereas Abhishek Singhvi, representing Kejriwal, countered this by stating that Kejriwal would refrain from signing any files during the interim bail under the condition that Lieutenant Governor won't halt any work, citing the lack of Kejriwal's signature. But what is the reality in this issue? See, the role of CM in Delhi is more important compared to that of the state due to capital's complex administrative structure. Besides leading the decisions on bureaucrats' transfer, posting and vigilant actions, the CM's office is central to the movement of files, which is fundamental to the daily administration. But the Supreme Court postponed its decision on granting interim bail to Kejriwal, where Justice Dipankar Datta even mentioned that even if interim bail is granted, Kejriwal might not be allowed to carry out his official duties as a Chief Minister of Delhi. Let us wait and see what happens next in this ongoing issue. This is the end of the discussion. Let us move on to the next part of the analysis, that is to discuss the preliminary practice questions. Look at this MCQ. Which of the following statements most accurately describes the role and responsibilities of the Chief Minister of Delhi within the city's administrative framework? Here, 4 statements are given and we have been asked to check the veracity of the statement. Okay, let's solve them. See the first one. Here it said that the CM of Delhi oversees the matter of healthcare, education and also has a significant authorities over the law enforcement. See, this statement is wrong because the Chief Minister does have an oversee in the areas like healthcare, education, but law and order of Delhi falls under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Home Affairs. So this is wrong. Let us see the second statement. The CM of Delhi holds significant executive power, including the ability to make decisions on bureaucratic appointments and day-to-day administrative functions. See, this statement accurately reflects the role and responsibility of the CM. They indeed hold significant executive powers, including decision-making over the bureaucratic appointments and day-to-day administrative functions. See, this makes the Chief Minister of Delhi a key figure in the governance of Delhi. So, the statement is correct. See the third one. The CM of Delhi primarily acts as a ceremonial figurehead with nominal influence over the policy making and governance. See, this statement is incorrect because the CM of Delhi is not merely a ceremonial figure but plays an active role in the policy making and governance. They have a real decision making power and responsible for the overseeing of various aspects of Delhi administration. So the statement is also incorrect. See the final statement. The CM of Delhi has the authority over certain administrative matters, but the ultimate decision making power lies with the Lieutenant Governor appointed by the central government. See, this statement is partially correct. While the CM of Delhi does have authority over certain administrative matters, ultimate decision making does not solely lie with them. The Lieutenant Governor appointed by the central government also holds significant authorities and plays a crucial role in the governance of Delhi. The relationship between CM and Lieutenant Governor has been a subject of debate and contention in the Delhi's administrative framework. So the statement is also correct. So option C is correct, as it accurately represents the role and responsibilities of the CM of Delhi within the city's administrative framework. So with this, let us move on to the next MCQ. See, this MCQ is a simple one, asking about science and technology. In this question, it is asking that what is the primary technology behind the creation of deepfakes? See, from our discussion, we know that artificial intelligence is the primary technology behind the creation of deepfakes. So the correct option is option C. The main question based on today's discussion is displayed here. Interested aspirants can write and get back to us. If you like today's video, like, comment and share it with your friends. For more updates regarding UPSC preparation, subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy. Thank you very much.